Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, big news. The new hoodies and, don't mind my hair. Ugh. Excuse me. The new t-shirts. Yeah. Finally got the web store up and running. It is live. This is just one of 3 designs I have. I love all of them. I don't know, something about this one. This is the one Robbie Reeves did for me. It's the pinstripe. Let me get over there. I refer to it as the pinstripe design. But yeah, I love this design. But they are live on the website now. I'm gonna put right here somewhere down here. Yeah, right in there. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Go check it out. Unfortunately, I'm not at 500 subscribers yet, and I don't have the requirements to actually make it a link that you can click in video, but it is in the description and it will be in the pinned comment. Anything you get from that web store helps support me doing this crap. All the money goes back into the car, and it ain't much, but it's a little bit, right? So yeah, and Delia's air tank is finally here. So let's get busy and start doing some air ride. Like I said, the air tank is here. We have the last piece of the puzzle. Cut everything else kind of sitting right here. Compressors. We're gonna rock 2 of the 485Cs. A lot of this stuff, some of this stuff is borrowed off the Deadwood. The compressors are borrowed off the Deadwood. Water traps. I was actually gonna borrow the Deadwood's air tank, but it was too tall. So I ordered this one, and I'm looking at this one, and I think this one might be too tall as well. We have 11 1/4 inch from the bottom of the casket floor to the top of the floor itself. And this is clocking in right at 11 1/4. Go figure. It said 10 inches in the description, but I'm assuming they were referring to the tank itself. If so, no, because the tank itself isn't even 10 inches. It's like 9.5 inches. You know what? Hold on. Well, it's gonna throw me off just a little bit, but that's okay. Oh yeah, that's 11 3/8, which is better than I think the other air tank is like, with that top fitting, the top bung, I think it was over 12 inches tall. That being said, we do have some room with these legs right here. We can bring this down, but we can only bring it down so far. we do have a drain right here. On this side, we have a drain port that I'm going to hook up. Drain is pretty important. So I think the first step here, excuse me, is going to be look at that drain fitting in there and then see how much room we have with the drain fitting, because it wouldn't be hard to cut a section out of these legs and weld the legs back on. That would be an ideal way to lower the height of this. So let's see what we got here.
A few moments later.
Big part of me wants to just plug the damn drain off. So we have this lower fitting right here. Tank's on side, obviously. But it's still gonna require about 1.5 inches of water. That thread's in there pretty deep. I don't really anticipate a lot of water getting in the tank because we do have dryers for our air compressors. And to be quite honest with you, this air ride is not going to be a long-term deal. So against my better judgment, at least for right now, I think I'm gonna block this drain off. We'll have the dryers, and I plan on putting the dryers on a little valve. This is one of two that I had in the Deadwood, so that way I can just hit a button and it will drain out the dryers, hit that on a regular basis, and keep the water traps empty, and hopefully keep the tank from getting too much water in it. This is against my better judgment. I'm not gonna lie. Normally, I would be all about a drain in the tank, but I guess worst case, I could put the drain fitting here, and then if I think there's any water in it, I can always just slide this whole, I plan on putting this on a piece of wood, carpeted, that way I can slide it out and service it as needed. So if I absolutely had to, I could tilt the dang thing up on its side, put the drain right here, and drain it. So I think that's gonna be the plan. I know that's gonna be the plan. At least for time being. Oh. Sorry about that. Neighbors are doing some lawn care after all. All right. So, this is my way. Freaking love that thing, but it's in the way. All right, guys. All right, guys. When it comes to sealing your air ride, there is only one answer. Loctite 545. Thread tape, thread paste, all that stuff. Anything other than Loctite 545, I've never had any good luck with. This crap, it's expensive. It smells bad. And it looks like you've been doing inappropriate things with Barney if you get it on your fingers. But It's one of the best thread sealants I've used. Done properly, clean threads, it won't leak. Now, some people are like, same thing with thread tape. Blue thread tape, white thread tape, red thread tape, yellow thread tape. Which, yes, technically they make all those different colors, and they are for different sealing applications. Fuel safe, stuff like that. Yeah, I will tell you right now that Loctite 545 it just works. Sorry. Okay, so we got that in there. Let's see how much we can take out of this leg here. Okay, we can take a solid 1.25 inches out of these legs. That will get this tank down low enough to allow us to use about a 3/4 inch piece of plywood to bolt it to and have it easily fit under the casket floor of Delia. So that's next.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to.
We rolled it through, so all that matters. I'm pretty certain it's the fact that I'm running it off of a rather skinny extension cord. Yeah. At least the extension cord didn't get hot. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm not gonna bother cleaning them up. We're gonna let them cool off for a minute, give them a squirt of paint, and then we'll get this sucker mounted to a board. Alright guys, well, I got a piece of scrap wood. This is actually, see that groove right there? This is a leftover piece of the Deadwood's gasket core. I just wrapped it real quick with some speaker box carpet to make it look somewhat attractive in the car. And now, go ahead and throw our air tank up here. Yes, I did paint the feet. Yeah, something like that. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Sure, I like it. Oh. Oh yeah. Sorry. I like it. All right. That is a beautiful thing. And let's see what our overall height is. After doing all that, now we'll look see what our overall height is. And we are spot on at the weld, 11¼ inches. So that worked. So the next thing, get the compressors mounted. That's actually the easy part. Put it right down that center line. You know what? Before we do that, all right, so we're gonna get these water traps squared away. Again, Loctite 545. Go. The other nice thing about the Loctite 545 is, like these fittings right here are stainless to stainless, it provides a bit of lubrication to the threads. Because when you're really tightening down on stainless stuff, you can gall the threads up. That's just never a good thing. All right. So. Arrow, 2 tank, this side. There we go. Really don't want to overdo it on these water traps. They are aluminum, and you just stretch the threads and strip the threads pretty easy on them. So be careful with that. That's cool. Watch this not swing. Oh, there it is. Let's see, watch me curse myself. Yeah. But it worked. All right. Oh, leaky. Heck yeah, that looks really good. I know you guys probably can't see a whole lot there, but come here. That's pretty simple. We'll rinse and repeat on the other side, and then we'll start putting the compressors on. Take our compressor and our leader hose. I'm just going to temporarily thread that in there. This head leader hose is just too long for what I want to do. That's asking for trouble coming out at an angle like that. Yeah. Yes. I guess that's just what we're gonna have to do. It is what it is. These water traps work best when they're straight. I guess the other option I could do is while it's before this Loctite sets up, I could take the 90 out, run the water trap straight into the tank, and come out the inlet of the water trap with the 90. I would put it probably somewhere in that range, but we're height limited. More height limited than we are floor space limited. So yeah, that's just the way it's gonna be. Okay. So let's get that done. I have water. Ah. Eh. I'm still a little shy on that one. Oh, come on. That ain't gonna reach either. Shit. If it works, if it looks stupid, but it works, it ain't stupid. Now, if it works part is to be determined. Dumbass mounted this tank so low. It ain't stupid. It worked. I don't hate that. All right, so there's the compressors mounted. Nothing fancy, but it works. And that's what matters. It works. All right. We're not gonna worry about electronics right now. It is getting a little late. Should probably go in for the night. But I got just enough time. We can build one valve assembly. All right, got all our little parts and pieces here. There we go. You guys didn't know, besides my hoodies and t-shirts, this video is actually sponsored. It is sponsored by Robbie Reeves. His art and tattooing. Yes. He sponsored the valves. These are some pretty beastie valves. They are a 1/2-inch pipe, but they have a 5/8 inner orifice. So they will flow some air. I bet you really want to see me, but you can't see me and what we're doing. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So, let's see if I can remember how to do this.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a bad chick. All the boys stare, can't help it, it's a habit. Clothes that she wears, short skirt and a jacket. I just wanna get her all alone on a mattress. I just wanna have it, I just gotta have it. Rumors all around say her body is fantastic. All natural, not a piece of fur is plastic. Head to her toes, yeah, they say that she's a latch. Yeah, the whispers all around say she has a reputation. Don't believe it till I see it, so I want a demonstration. And I've always learned it better with a hands-on education. So I need a private session, if you get what I am saying. And they say that she's not easy, no, she's really complicated. But that only makes it better, and it's got me so fixated. And I'm not the type to wait around, I've never hesitated. But she's got me captivated, so the game, I'm gonna play it, yeah. You got a body like a coaxing, she likes to keep the party going. These rumors got me feeling lonely, I want that body, baby, show me. She's got a body like a coaxing, she likes to keep the party going. These rumors got me feeling lonely, I want that body, baby, show me. I heard you look good when you're undressed. I heard you like to get away. I heard you like to stay out late. I heard you had a couple boyfriends. I heard they didn't treat you right. I heard you're hated by your girlfriends, 'cause all the guys want you tonight. Yeah, they say she's too hot.
Next up is this. Now, again, this stuff right here, that is not thread sealing compound. That is anti-galling compound. Put them on the stainless threads to keep it from galling up. It is not thread sealant.
In my mind like a bad obsession, got bad intentions. She got a body like a coaxing, she likes to keep the party going. These rumors got me feeling lonely.
These will move some air. They will hustle some air, but they will not bounce the tires off the ground and be that crazy. But that's it. That's basically what we got. Get you up here a little closer and have a peek at it. Pretty simple. Air comes in, hit the switch, air flows through this valve, goes to the gauge fitting, tell me how much PSI is in the gauge or how much is going to the bag, and then this fitting goes to the bag. This is the dump valve, keeping everything closed off. Then when you air out, this valve activates, air leaves the bag, comes out this way. Doesn't get any easier than that, right? I'm gonna leave the tape on this one, primarily just because I want to blow this off when I first dump the system. I want to shoot the paper off there. But yeah, we just gotta rinse and repeat this 3 more times, and then we will start with wiring. Show you guys what 9-wire is. All right, guys, as you can see, we got all of our valves done. Even our drain valve right here. No, come on. There we go. Got our drain valve hooked up. That's coming off of this water trap, and then this line comes from the other water trap. And we'll just, we'll take, a short piece of quarter hose, pop it in there, and we'll go out the bottom of the car. We'll take care of that when we go to plumb the lines in. So what we got is we got front, and then the middle two are for the rears. Only difference here is the rear, we're gonna run 3/8 line on. Going in that rear, I can't really see that. But in the front, we're gonna run half. So there's 3/8, there's the half. The reason for this, pretty simple. Where'd you go? There you are. Sorry. The bags I want to run in the rear, I'm gonna try to run in the rear anyway, are the 5.5s that we originally tried in the front of the Deadwood, but with the engine weight and everything, it just was too much. I want to run these because they are a smaller diameter and they should fit right where the coil springs go, and there should be no modification. And these come out of the box with a built-in 3/8 push to connect. That currently isn't wanting to play nice. Let's get that out of there. I think maybe. There we go. So anyway, yeah, these come with a built-in 3/8 push to connect line. So instead of running a reducer, running 1/2 inch back and then we're trying to reduce it down to the 3/8 here, I figured we'll just run 3/8 to the rear. We really don't care about the speed of the rear. A 1/2 inch valve, 3/8 line, this thing's still going to fill pretty quick. So we're good there. With all this done, the next thing is wiring. So we'll get this thing wired up. We got our 9 wire here. Stuff's fairly common in the lowrider world and the car stereo world. And this is actually where I got this from. This is a little bit more car stereo-esque 9 wire, but it was relatively inexpensive off of Amazon. We got your 4 channels for your speakers and your amp turn-on wire. Well, that's basically all we need. I do believe this is 14 gauge. It looks like 14 gauge. So another thing that's kind of bothering me is that power wire is not 14 gauge. Speaker wires are 14 gauge, but that power wire is more like 16 or 18 gauge. That's not necessarily going to work for what I want, but it's okay. I think what we'll end up doing is we'll use the power wire, the amplifier turn-on wire here, I should say. We'll use that to feed the pressure switch that I installed. Got my pressure switch and my fitting for the tank pressure gauge. We use this red wire to go from the dash where the switches are, and this will go back and feed power to pressure switch, which will then turn on the relay and turn the compressors on. Got our relays right here. Well, we have a relay and a pigtail for a relay. There should be a relay laying around here somewhere. Wonder oh, there it is. Okay. These are what will actually carry power to the compressors. So we got that. And I picked this up fairly inexpensive. Nice little fused junction box. Comes with a cover that doesn't want to fit. Did I not put it in right? Yeah, there we go. Comes with a nice little cover, 4 A&L fuses, or mini A&Ls, and 4 spots for ground. So we can fuse our compressor, feed, have a ground return, and then it's, looks like it'll do 4 gauge, with a sleeve that can actually go up to 8 gauge, which is way bigger than what we're gonna need. We're gonna feed this whole thing with power and ground in 4 gauge. I thought, you know, that wasn't a horrible spot for it right there. Or maybe like that, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, get this wired up. I'm not gonna bore you guys with me sitting here wiring this whole thing, just watch me do this, but long story short, driver, you know, pick the 4 colors, give them a corner. They will go to the valves. We'll use the black stripe as a down, nose stripe as up, and then that will, the other end of this will eventually make its way to the switch panel, and we'll do the same thing up there. I'll get this all wired up, and then we'll talk about it once it's wired up and ready to go in the car.
The next day.
All right, we got our valves all wired up. And we have our compressors all wired up. Got the fuse block in, pressure switch. That's gonna be for the gauge right there. Dump valves wired in. Yeah, everything is ready to go. Compressor relays, pretty easy to get to. Our spool of 9-wire. There, all ready to go. Just gotta put it in the car. All right, guys, well, there we go. It's all wired up. I did throw a jump pack on it to test it, and compressors kicked on. All the valves function, dump valve. I did install, oh, you guys can't see that. Let's see here. There we go. Right here, I did install a little disable switch. That way I can just open the passenger side loading door, reach in and shut that switch off. And that just cuts power to the pressure switch, disables the compressors. Just, you know, if I got a parked car, I haven't been driving it much due to gas prices. So if I'm gonna leave the car sit for a while, it's inevitable to have a slow leak in these. Primarily this right here. The check valves in these leader hoses are not perfect. You let the car sit for a week, 2 weeks, you're probably gonna lose some air in the tank. So having a disable switch of some sort is kind of nice. Just be able to shut the compressors off, keep the batteries from draining. As far as putting this in the car, it's pretty straightforward. We're gonna run a length of 4 gauge power and ground to this fuse block. Set a little hose off of here for the drain. And then our air lines going to the 4 corners. This 9-wire will get wired up to the switch box. Well, the switch panel. I am once again borrowing parts from the Deadwood. This is just straightforward, guys. I'm not gonna get into it too deep, but pick a color, it's a corner. Power comes in, up and down. It's that simple, okay? I probably won't get too crazy as far as videoing the install. It's pretty straightforward. Run 4 gauge power, 4 gauge ground to the fuse block right here. And yeah, it's that easy. One thing I will make note, even though we have a real nice fuse block back here, I will be putting a probably 100 amp A&L under the hood. You always want to fuse within 6 inches, a foot of the battery. You want to put a fuse there. That way, if something happens to that wire between the battery and this fuse block, the circuit is protected. Especially being lowriders, you never know. Whether you run the cable under the car or in the cabin of the car, which will probably come through the firewall. But even with good grommets and stuff, sometimes stuff can chafe, stuff can rub, or bouncing up and down, doing dumb things. So always make sure you properly fuse the circuits. And I will probably not run a ground all the way from the battery. That being said, I will upgrade the ground that's from the battery down to the chassis, and then in the back of the car from the chassis up to this ground block here. All makes sense, right? Right, pretty easy. So yeah, that's it. Part 1. We have the air management done, ready to go in the car. All right, guys, as you can see, it all fits. There's compressors down there, electronics right there. All of our normal service points are pretty easy to get at. But it just barely fits in here. The one thing I didn't take into account was this very minor hump in the middle of the floor. It raises up about that much. I installed it from that end, and yeah, it's got a little bit of a lean the opposite way from this tank drain, which kind of bums me out, but I think I have a solution for that. I was thinking about it after I installed it the other night, this drain right here, and I thought, you know, if I take that out and put I believe this is quarter, yeah, this is quarter right here, put a piece of 1/4 inch stainless pipe, run it in the tank with a slight turn down so it's picking up off the bottom of the tank, and bring it through to a piece of compression fitting, and then have the compression fitting go into the tank, and then put my drain on there. The air pressure would force any water down, you know, that tube would be picking up from the lowest point of the tank, and it would kind of just push it out that way. Again, I really don't think it's going to have a whole lot of water in this, but it's a thought. If I have to go that far, I have to go that far. This tank's only going to be in here for the summer, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I figured, you know, I ended the video off, which you're going to see here in a minute, but then I was like, that's not much of a payout. You know, actually getting to see it in the car, that's the payoff. So back to me sitting in the garage staring at this, thinking about putting it in tonight. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know I've harped on it a few times, but there's the link right there. And because you stuck it out to the end of this video, use that right there. That little code right there. My way of saying thank you. Grand opening of the store. You watched the video all the way to the end. There's a little incentive right here to maybe go buy something, help me out. So any money spent at that store helps fund this crap right here. Hopefully someday we get a little bit of growth to this channel, and we can start doing really cool stuff. This is backyard shit, so you know. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Do the whole like, share, subscribe, comment. Comments are nice. Comments help. I think that's the biggest thing. Commenting on the video is probably the biggest thing you could do for me. That shows YouTube there's some engagement, and it might barely sneak my videos out into the algorithm a little bit further. So again, check out the website, use this code, like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. Part 2 is coming soon.